again live from our pop-up shop at Oxford Street, and we're delighted to be joined by Monica from our colleagues at the Money and Pension Service. Because we're talking money again. If you are worried about your own financial situation or have a friend or family member that is, our team are standing by. You can pop in all week. We're open from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. all the way through to Saturday. Or if you can't make it into store, give us a call on free phone 0800 808 5700, or visit our website at debtfree.london/talkmoney, where one of our team will be there to answer any questions you have about your personal finances. But to tell us more around the Money and Pension Service and MoneyHelper, I'm going to hand to Monica. All yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome everybody. As you can see today, Debt Free London, here at this pop-up shop in Oxford Circus. If you get an opportunity, please do come along, get some great free advice if you are in debt at all. Great place to come and get some advice by qualified debt advisors, and it's also a confidential service. So please do come along. Please post about us, send it out to your friends, your families, your staff colleagues, anyone who needs help with debt advice, please come along. And that is what Talk Money Week is all about this week. We are the leaders in terms of this campaign. It's a national campaign, lots of partners on board. As you can see, Debt Free London is one of our partners. And today I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about the importance of money, Money and Pension Service, and also MoneyHelper, which is one of our free tools that we have. So who are we? We are a combination of three organisations. Now you may have heard of us in the past as the Money Advice Service, PensionWise, or the Pension Advisory Service. So in April 2019 we merged and we have now become the Money and Pension Service. And we are here to help people throughout the UK access guidance, free guidance can I just say, and information to make them need to look at the effective decisions when it comes to their finances, not just for the here and now, but also for the future. So in terms of financial well-being, this is our definition. Knowing you can pay the bills today, can deal with the unexpected, and are on track for a healthy and financial future. It's about being secure in regards of your money and your finances. It's about being confident, and especially confident around making decisions when it comes to money, and also being empowered to look at the decisions you are making and plan for your future as well. So, in terms of us as an organisation, we have 5 core functions. One of us is about pensions and pensions guidance. So we can provide free guidance in regards of your pensions, whether it's a workplace pension or a personal pension, and we can give free guidance, and we have a great pensions team that you can call up and get between 45 minutes to an hour of free guidance advice. We also are the biggest funders of debt advice. As you can see here today, Debt Free London is one of our partners. They are one of our lead organisations in London around debt advice. We also support Step Change, and we also fund Citizens Advice across England as well. As I mentioned earlier, we have lots of free information around money guidance, and that is because there are a lot of people out there, sadly, who don't feel confident when it comes to decisions around money or are ill-informed, and therefore that's why we have got lots of free guidance about money, which will help to inform those decisions when it comes to money. Another area that we're focusing on is consumer protection, so we're doing a lot of work with the Financial Conduct Authority, also known as the FCA. And sadly, at the moment, due to the impact of COVID, there's been a huge amount taking place in regards of scams. So we've been working very closely with the FCA around this. And as Matt mentioned earlier, one of the other areas that we've been focusing on is a strategy around financial well-being. One of the reasons behind this strategy is, this was even pre-COVID, research was telling us that the United Kingdom, we were not very good in terms of our money and managing money. We were actually a nation of savers, a nation of spenders rather than a nation of savers. Apologies there. So this is our UK financial wellbeing strategy. This was launched in 2020 and it is a 10-year strategy. We did a huge amount of consultation with various partners across the United Kingdom, and from that feedback we received through those consultation events, These are the 5 areas that we are focusing on called the Agendas for Change. So one of them is looking at financial foundations. You may or may not be aware of this, but in England, financial education is not compulsory as part of the school's curriculum. So it's a choice-based thing in regards of schools, and also just in terms of Talk Money Week this year in our campaign, this is something that we have been really focusing on, is getting to open up and talk to children about money, talking with parents about money, going into schools and doing lots of work with schools. So that is an area that we really want to focus on, and I'll just give you a little bit of insight in terms of the work I've been doing. I've been working a lot with organisations on apprenticeship programmes, and you would be surprised at how many people are not aware, especially young people, around things to do with wage slips. What does a wage slip mean? What does national insurance mean? What does tax mean? Things to do with rental agreements, what their responsibilities are. So again, an area that we think is extremely important. We also wanted to focus in terms of savings. We implemented a survey back in 2018, prior to COVID happening, and we found that 11 million people had less than £100 in savings. So we want to really push in terms of the savings piece as well. There has been a slight change due to the impact of COVID and people not having to commute in and spend money on those lush coffees and everything else. So there has been a behaviour change around savings, and we want to really tap into that and see people saving a lot more money. We also want to focus around credit, because again this was from feedback. Sadly, a lot of people don't really understand credit, don't understand things to do with credit cards, APR, loans. Again, a real area of focus for us. Obviously, due to the impacts of COVID, there has been a huge increase in the use of credit for everyday spending, and a lot of shops were not allowing cash to be used, and we're using credit cards. So we want to really kind of get out there and educate people around the use of credit as well. And as I mentioned earlier about better debt advice, hence Debt Free London, we want to encourage people to look at addressing their debt a lot earlier than waiting until they get into what we call crisis debt. So we again are focusing on this, and we're really keen to work with organisations, to work with employers, to work with employees, to work with every sector around the whole debt advice, and look at encouraging people to come forward a lot sooner. And finally, the 5th agenda for change is around future focus. Yes, this has a lot to do with pensions, but just to make you aware, we are actually living longer. So they are now saying, research is telling us that an average 25-year-old will actually live until they're 90. So it's about the whole kind of future planning, future proofing purpose, and later life as well. So I would like to try and change some of the language around pensions and make you look at it in a different way, which is think about your pension as a long-term savings plan, and seriously think about how you can, what it is you want towards the end of kind of what we're calling later life, in terms of, leaving work. What are your ambitions around those sorts of things? Are you going to have enough money to fund the sorts of lifestyle that you want to have when you retire, bearing in mind that you are actually going to be living longer as well? So that's another agenda for change that we've really been focusing on. So, as Matt said earlier, in terms of one of the things that I really wanted to make you aware of is our new consumer-facing brand called MoneyHelper. So if you were to go onto our website, this is actually what it looks like. It has lots of free information, and we cover information from somebody who wants to start a family, so things like a baby cost calculator, right through to, sadly, if someone's going through a bereavement, so things around, wills, powers of attorney. We even have information on insurance and pet insurance, which has really increased in terms of people asking for information about this. Due to COVID, again, a huge increase around people buying pets and so forth. So if we go into one of the drop-down boxes around everyday money, You can see some of the subject areas that we cover. So we have things around banking. Again, a lot of people don't understand the different types of bank accounts, what's an ISA, we have lots of information about that. We also have a lot of really good information around budgeting. And we have an excellent budget planner tool that you can access and use. And the great thing with the budget planner is it is for anybody, whether you're employed, unemployed or self-employed. The great thing with the budget planner is that it asks you a series of questions. At the end of it, it will then tell you in terms of what your income is, what your expenditure is. But the great thing about this tool is you can actually save it to your personal drive, and you can review this on a regular basis. Good practice is that you should be actually reviewing your income and your budgeting and expenditure possibly at least every 3 months or so. If you can't do that, then as a minimum we encourage you to look at it at least every 6 months. We also have lots of information about credit, and as I mentioned earlier, lots of people have been using credit. So another great tool we have is a credit card calculator. You would be surprised at how many people don't understand things like APR, credit cards, interest rates. The beauty of this calculator is if you are considering signing up to a credit card and don't understand things like the APR, if you pop this into the tool, it will make you aware of how much repayment you need to make and what the interest is on that repayment that you're going to make. Again, all this information, these tools, they're all free on our MoneyHelper website. We also, due to the impact of coronavirus, have created a coronavirus hub. And one of the tools that we've created within this is a tool called the Money Navigator tool. And this was specifically came about due to the impact of COVID. So this is for anybody who's been impacted in terms of furlough, if somebody's really worried about their finance. The thing with the Money Navigator tool is it's an online customized tool. It asks you a series of questions, and at the end of those questions it will either signpost you to the relevant information on our site or the relevant organisation to support yourselves. As you can see, within the Money Navigator tool as well, it creates an action plan for you in regards of the next steps that you need to take. We also have other tools as well. So we have a Money Manager tool, and this is for anybody who is on universal credits. It's an interactive digital tool, okay, and we worked with DWP and a number of other organisations. Again, a very similar thing, it's online, you complete it, and at the end of it you can actually have, again, an action plan with various things for you to do. We also have created a Couch to Financial Fitness program. And this is our online program to help people get back on top with their finances due to the impact of COVID. It's an online 10-week program, and it will coach you through, and it looks at activities like budgeting, managing bills and payments, and also it includes looking at savings and the possibility and scope for you to actually look at strengthening your savings, or any savings you're looking at considering to put into a plan as well. So again, this is a great program. If you are interested, you can access this through our MoneyHelper website. We also have a lot of free guides that people can download and use or self-order. So we have one around managing your money. We also have one on your pensions and your choices. And we also have a very good booklet around redundancy as well. So again, these are all accessible. You can order them, and again, they are all free. In terms of the pensions as well, we have a pensions team, and they can provide you with guidance in regards of your pension plans. We have lots of information about pensions, information about state pensions as well. We have a pensions calculator, a workplace pensions calculator. This is an area where a lot of people whether you're in work or not in work, do not really understand their pensions. I've had lots of conversation with people saying, I am actually in a pensions plan, but I'm going to be very honest, I don't really know what it means. So you can get an appointment, book an appointment with us for 45 minutes to an hour and get some guidance from our pension advisors. They're a great team, extremely knowledgeable in this area. So please, if you are concerned about your pension or want to find out a little bit more about the pension pot you have, or pots, because they're now saying the average 25-year-old, when they retire, will have between 12 to 15 different pension pots. Please do give us a call or book an appointment online. I just wanted to highlight with you as well, sadly due to the impact of COVID, scams have really increased. We're getting, they're saying that there's 8 scam calls every second that happen. There's been a huge amount of fraud taking place, online fraud around pensions as well. Last year, Action Fraud reported 34.5 million in regards of fraud that's been going on, and I was looking at some data only last week, and in terms of cryptocurrency, which is a high-risk investment, a lot of that has been happening online, and sadly a lot of 30-year-olds, between 30 and 40-year-olds have been targeted, and there's been scams up to the value of 64 million in regards of cryptocurrency. So please just be aware. A lot of romancing scams taking place, people making out there's something that they're not, and parcel delivery scams as well taking place. I've been getting a lot of text messages saying that my parcel's arrived at the post office when I know I haven't ordered anything. If your gut feeling is this isn't something that I've been involved in or engaged with, then go with that gut feeling. If somebody's calling you, they shouldn't be asking you for any of your personal details in regards of your bank details. If you feel it's not right, you can always say to them, can I take your name and number, and I will call you back. Please just be very wary in terms of emails you're receiving as well. So again, in regards of our information, we have lots of free information about the different types of scams, and we've also created a small team within our contact centre. So if you have been a victim of scam, you can give us a call and we can provide you with some guidance. So getting in touch is easy. We have a free phone number. For England, it's 0800 138 7777. And for Wales, it's 0800 138 0555. You can also type talk, and you can communicate with us through web chat, and we also have a free WhatsApp number. WhatsApp is great in terms of for some people they get quite nervous when it comes to talking about money, especially about debt. The great thing with WhatsApp is you have a history, so you can start the conversation at a certain point. You don't have to go back to starting the conversations again. In terms of our role, a UK partnerships team has been created by the Money and Pension Service. Our remit is to go out there and support employers from all different sectors with financial well-being. You can see the team here, and you can contact us through our Money and Pensions website, and we have regional managers in all various regions to support yourselves around financial well-being. So we also can help in terms of any insights and knowledge that we have in regards of what we do as an organisation. We run a series of pilot projects around financial well-being. If you are interested in engaging with us and being part of the pilot projects, we're also looking at creating regional forums. So if that's something of interest to yourselves, then please do get in touch. And again, one of our biggest campaigns has been around Talk Money Week. This is an annual campaign that takes place. If again you're interested in something with us for next year, then please do contact us. We would also like to work very closely with yourselves because we are really interested in understanding what's going on at that regional level and gaining that insight. So we want to really work with yourselves and really support people in terms of their money and pensions. Thank you for listening to me today. I hope you found it of interest, and I'm now going to hand you over back to Matt. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Monica. That was really insightful. I think that camera might have died, so we're going to put this one for the last bit. Thank you so much. I hope you found that interesting. As Monica said, there's lots of free help and support available out there. Speak to the team at MoneyHelper, or if you live in London and you have a debt you're worried about, our team are available now on 0800 808 5700. Because we know when we do speak about money and talk about our worries, the help can be really useful. We're going to end today with some feedback from some of our clients and how they've experienced our service. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon.
Bye.